there, my name is Krystal Everdeen, and today I'm going to show you how to crochet a simple crop top. For this project, I am using size 4 yarn from the brand Loops and Threads, as well as a size 5mm hook. The first thing that we're going to work on for this project are the cups, and in order to make the cups, you're going to chain 12. And after you've chained 12, you're going to go back on that chain with a single crochet. Now, if you're completely new to crochet and are not sure on these stitches, I do have a crocheting for beginners video that I will link in the description box below, so you can go ahead and check that out and then come back and try this project. So again, you're going to go back on that chain with a single crochet, and all a single crochet is going through the stitch, then yarning over, going back through the stitch, yarning over again, and going through the last 2 loops that are left on your hook. Now again, if that was too fast for you, I have the Crocheting for Beginners video that goes through all of the basic stitches in a very beginner-friendly manner. So again, that will be in the description box below. I also have a tutorial on how to make a cup if this portion of the video goes a little bit too fast for you, and that will also be linked in the description box below. So once you reach the end of the row of single crochet, you're going to chain 1, flip the project over, and then create a second row of single crochet. And once you have completed that second row of single crochet, making sure that you go into the very first stitch of the new row, then you're going to do something a little bit different than you normally would in a regular project, because normally you would want to keep the project rectangular, say to make a blanket or a scarf or something, but this time we're actually going to flip the project. So instead of working horizontally, we're going to work vertically, and to make the point of the cup, we're actually going to crochet right in the middle, right in between row 1 and 2. So right here, I'm going to wedge my hook into this middle stitch here, and then create 3 single crochets inside of that middle stitch. So go inside of the same exact stitch that you just went into and create 2 more single crochets. And this is going to again serve as the point of the cup. That way this project is triangular. So after you've done that, you're actually going to go to the opposite side that you were originally working on and single crochet your way down, then back up to the point, then down and back up to the point, and so on and so forth. So now that we have created our 3 single crochets inside of that one point, now we're going to work our way down, and once we have reached the bottom of this row, we are again going to chain 1 and flip the project over. So this is my second to last single crochet, and this is my last single crochet of the row. So I have completed this row. I'm going to chain 1, flip the project over, make sure that I go into the very first stitch of the new row. This is extremely important because if you do not go into the very first stitch of the next row, then your cup is going to curve, and a lot of people have that issue of the cups curving at the bottom, and most likely this is the reason why it's starting to curve, because they don't go into the very first stitch of the new row, or they don't chain 1 at the end of the row. So those are probably the 2 reasons why your cup is curving, if your cup is curving. Another reason, which is less likely but it's possible, is that you are crocheting too tightly. But yeah, and if your cup is still curving after that, then I honestly don't know, I'm sorry. So single crochet your way up to the point, and once you reach the point, you choose the middle stitch. There is going to be a middle stitch because again, you single crochet 3 times into the middle stitch, so there will always be a middle stitch, if that makes sense, because 3 is not a number, so obviously you're going to go into the one in the middle. And once you go into the stitch that's in the middle, you're going to create another 3 single crochets in it, and then you're just going to repeat the process. So after you've created your 3 single crochets inside of that point, you're going to work your way down and then back up again, and then down and then back up again. up, down, single crochet 1, flip the project over, up 3 single crochets, then down, chain 1, work your way back up, 3 single crochets, and then down, chain 1, work your way back up, and so on and so forth until you put the cup against your body and it fits you. And once you're done with one cup, you're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing and make a second cup. And make sure that they are the same size and that they fit you well. And once you have gotten to this point, it's time to attach them. And the way that I attach them is this way. So I start from where I left off on this second cup, and then I single crochet my way up to the point, and then I create a strap, single crochet my way down, and then attach them, and then go ahead and single crochet my way up, create the strap on the other cup, and then single crochet my way down. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now you can just detach the yarn from the yarn ball and attach them in the middle and then do everything separately, but I like to make my projects by detaching my yarn from the yarn ball the least amount of times, so this is how I do it. So again, I'm going to single crochet my way up the cup until I reach the point where I would normally single crochet 3 times, but since we're done making this cup larger and larger, it's time to create a strap. And to create a strap is very easy. All I do is chain a very long chain, and because I want this strap to not only serve as the neck strap but also the back strap, and then do that small corset or lace up design in the back, it needs to be very long. So I chain 150 chains. Depending on your size and preference, that you may need to chain more or less, but to have an idea of how many chains I make 150. And after I'm done with my 150 chains, I go back on it with a slip stitch. And all a slip stitch is putting your hook through the stitch, then yarning over, and then pulling it back through the stitch and through the last loop on your hook. So through the stitch, yarn over, back through the stitch, and through the last loop on your hook. Very, very simple. And I do this for 2 reasons. Not only so I don't have to detach the yarn from the yarn ball, but also because I want this strap to be a little bit thicker and sturdier so that you don't have to worry about it snapping. So you're going to slip stitch your way all the way down the chain that you just created until you get to the cup again, and then once you reach the cup again, then you're going to continue to single crochet your way down the cup. So I have just made it all the way down the chain with this slip stitch, and this is what this strap looks like now. Much thicker and more comfortable this way as well. So now I'm going to single crochet my way down and attach the second cup to my first cup. So single crochet all the way down this row until I reach the bottom, and now that I'm at the bottom, I'm going to grab my other cup and then pinpoint where I want the 2 to be attached to, and then put my hook through both of those stitches and slip stitch through both of them. So I'm just going to put my hook through both the stitches, yarn over, and then bring my hook through the stitches and then through the last loop on the hook. And now they're attached. Yay! So this is what the project looks like so far. One of them has a strap and one of them does not have a strap yet, but we're going to fix that right now. Okay, so now that they're attached, I'm going to single crochet my way up, create the second strap, and then single crochet my way down. And then we'll be done with the cups and the straps. 2 for 1. Perfect. So from here, I'm just going to go up the project, single crochet my way to the point, and once I reach the point, I'm going to make 150 chains, or however many chains that you made for your project. Make the same number of chains on the opposite side as well. And once I have crocheted my 150 chains, I'm going to go back on it with a slip stitch. And once I have made it all the way down the chain and back to the cup with a slip stitch, then I'm going to finally make my last row of single crochet on the cup until I reach the bottom. And once I've reached the bottom, then it's time to start on phase 2 of the project, which is to make the portion of the crop top that's going to cover your torso. So now that I am completely done with both cups and both straps, this is what the project looks like so far. And now we're going to work on the bottom portion of the cups, and this is going to again be the part that covers your torso. So from here you're going to chain a number of chains that when you put the project against yourself, it covers from the side of your rib cage to your back, so basically from here to here. And for me, it takes 15 chains, but again, depending on your size and preference, you may need to make more or less chains. So after I have chained 15 from the side of the cup, I'm going to slip stitch my way down that chain, and then once I have reached the cup again, this is what the project looks like so far. I'm just going to continue slip stitching all the way across the bottom of the 2 cups until I reach the opposite side, and then I'm going to chain 15 again. And if you chain more or less, then you just make the same number of chains as you did on the first side. So I am slip stitching my way across the bottom of the cups, and that may be a little bit difficult because there's no exact stitches that you can go into. You just kind of have to find your closest stitch and then jam your hook in there until you reach the opposite side. And then once you reach the opposite side, then you're going to chain the same number of chains as you did the first side, and for me that's 15, so I went ahead and chained 15, and this is what the project looks like so far. Kind of wonky, but it'll get better. So now we're going to go back on that chain with a single crochet. So flip the project over and then go into the first stitch with a single crochet. And you're going to go all the way down that chain that you just created with this single crochet. And once you have created a single crochet inside of every chain, then you're going to also create a row of single crochet on the bottom of the 2 cups all the way across to the opposite side. So just create one long row of single crochet until you reach the end. And this is what the project looks like so far. Just one row of single crochet all across. And from here on out, that's all you're going to do. So you're going to chain 1, flip the project over, and create another row of single crochet on top of that first row of single crochet that you created. Go all the way from the sides of the project across the bottom of the 2 cups to the opposite side, and then once you reach the opposite side, you're going to chain 1, flip the project over, and then create another row of single crochet, and you're just going to repeat this process over and over again, and eventually your project will start to grow and grow, get wider and wider, and you just keep going until you're satisfied with the size of the project. So put the project against yourself periodically as if you're going to wear it, and when you're happy with the coverage, then you don't have to make any more rows of single crochet. But if it's too short for you, then you just make more rows of single crochet until you're happy with it. Again, mine is a crop top, so I didn't make as many chains as, say, someone who wants to make a full top. So again, totally up to you. So after you are satisfied with the size of your crop top, then you detach the yarn from the yarn ball. However, I am not going to detach the yarn from the yarn ball and seal the project because I'm actually going to unravel this project and use the yarn for another tutorial. So just ignore that. Normally, you would detach the yarn from the yarn ball because you're completely done with the crocheting portion of the project. Yay! So now all you have to do is lace up the straps. So grab one strap from one side and bring it over to the opposite side and attach it to the top portion of the bottom portion of the top. And then you're going to reach across to the opposite side again and attach it to the middle portion of the bottom portion of the top. And then stretch it across the opposite side one more time and attach it to the bottom portion of the bottom of the top, like so. Now you're going to grab the opposite strap and do the exact same thing, just of course opposite. So you're going to grab the strap and attach it to this portion of the top, and then you're going to reach it across the opposite side and attach it to this portion, which is the middle, and then reach it across the opposite side one last time and attach it to this portion, which is the bottom. And now it should look kind of like a corset or like a lace-up design. I don't know how to call it. But after you've done that, then you're completely done with the top. And now it's time to put it on and style it and rock it. And that's the tutorial. It was just a quick and simple tutorial. If you are looking for something much more beginner friendly and slower, I do have a similar tutorial on how to make the same design just in a different color, and it is a little bit older, but again, it is more beginner friendly. So if you want to check that out, then I will also leave that in the description box below. And if you are a fan of free crochet tutorials in general, please check out my channel. I have so many other crochet tutorials available to you. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and also click that red subscribe button if you have not already, so I can see you next time. Bye!